It seems like every bad idea born by economically illiterate socialists in Alberta these days is being puked upstream and then adopted by the federal government. And this time, it's subsidies to green our economies that really make no economic sense in the long run. Catherine McKenna, Canada's bike riding, climate crusading environment minister, is dishing out $2 billion total to 8 provinces and 3 territories as part of the Liberals' vague, detail-deficient low-carbon fund. Saskatchewan and Manitoba will receive no funding because they haven't signed on to the Pan-Canadian Framework on Clean Growth and Climate Change. Boy, that's a mouthful of nonsense right there. Basically, the Liberals are trying to blackmail Saskatchewan and Manitoba with their own money to implode their own economies for a few tens of millions of dollars in federal funding. And to their credit, these provinces aren't budging, and really, why would they? The damage to their own economies through a carbon tax will cost way more than the Liberals' bribes. But let's take a look at these Liberals' targets and what they really mean in a practical sense. The Liberals' low-carbon targets mean Canada gets to reduce their emissions by amounts that are equivalent to getting 2 times as many cars off the road as there are even cars in Canada. 44 million cars have to vanish from Canada when we only have 22 million cars registered. By the way, these crazy low-carbon targets, these are the Paris Accord targets that the Conservatives voted to support. Not only is meeting these targets pretty well impossible without having Alberta and Saskatchewan and all their industries just disappear from the map, but I don't think the Liberals have even considered just how expensive going green and clean growth really is. Let me put it in context. Let's talk about how much it really costs to get just a few cars off the road. A tiny LRT expansion in Edmonton is going to cost $1.8 billion. Calgary's Green Line LRT Stage 1 alone will cost nearly $5 billion, and the debt servicing for the whole Green Line project will exceed $1.6 billion. Yeah, the cost of borrowing money for the Green Line is nearly as much as McKenna is handing out to 8 provinces and 3 territories combined. And in case I'm not being perfectly clear, I don't want anyone getting any money from the federal or really any other level of government to go green. It's not free money. The feds are giving out money to seem generous with one hand, but they'll be raking it all back in and then some with a carbon tax in their other hand. In short, we can't afford to go carless and we can't afford to go green, even if we wanted to. And we definitely can't afford it when we'll be poorer because of a federal carbon tax that starts at $10 a ton and races up to $50 per ton by 2022. Imagine any other tax increasing 400% in 5 years. That's like the GST increasing from 5% to 25%. People would be livid. But you can't be mad. You can't be mad because the Liberals will say, you hate the earth, you car-driving nature murderers. For the Rebel.media, I'm Sheila Gunn-Reid. Whenever a Liberal gets an idea, it seems to always cost me a lot. To keep track of how much these crazy Liberal ideas are costing Canadians, be sure to subscribe to our new Rebel Canada YouTube page.